What's up, Internet? This is Rambling Josh, and you're watching another episode of Let's Play Quest 64. Since last time, I have made my way back to Dondran off-screen, because, truth be told, it's a pretty boring trek. It was boring the first time, and it would probably just be even more boring the second time in reverse. So, I made it here, and I have killed Silvering, so he's just going to give me the Earth Orb, which is good, because if I didn't come back, then I would just steal it. So, it's mine one way or another. But, what he does do for us is he unlocks this hidden door back here, which would not be available to us if we did not come back after killing Silvering. So that's at least a decent reward. Get a healing potion, which I think restores 150 HP. That might come in handy. That's only like 2.5 times as much HP as I actually have right now. And I think a hero's drink restores 40 MP. Yeah, that'll come in handy. You may notice that I put... Come on, where is it? There we go. A single spirit into Earth. And that was actually by accident. I did not mean to do that. It's not a big deal. It actually doesn't matter really at all, because Earth is actually the next element that I want to put elements into. I'm still putting elements into water for the time being. You can stop if you want. It really doesn't matter all that much, but I like to go up to 25. And the reason for that is, well, for one thing, the highest you can go with any one element is 50. So 25 is a good place to stop. It's kind of the halfway point. But it's also when you learn healing level 2, which is certainly handy to have. It's not like super useful. In fact, I might actually end up going the entire game without using it, because healing 1 is just, for the most part, better. And I'll show these enemies for one reason and one reason only. I didn't really demonstrate the best way to handle them previously, and that is basically to just charge at them. You see, they throw their little rock. If you just run straight at them, the rock will just soar right over your head. So anyways, as I was saying, healing level 1 is just more efficient. Like, it costs 2 MP, and right now it's healing 12, whereas healing level 3 would probably heal like maybe 20-ish for an extra MP, so it's... I can't recall the exact math, but just trust me when I say that healing level 2 is much less efficient. That is not the spell I want to cast. Healing level 3 is much less efficient than healing level 2. Jeez, I am like completely out of it today, it would seem. Healing level 2 is much less efficient than healing level 1. The MP cost per HP healed is much higher, which is a bad thing. That is a lot of frickin' whatever the heck they are. You actually have to be kind of careful with these things, because if they get right up in your face, they will use a water pillar attack, which can actually do a decent amount of damage. So just try and make sure to kill them as they come up to you. And if something like this happens, where there's 2 of them, just use a level 2 water pillar, and you can hit both of them. Out of MP, but it does not matter. I would honestly not be too worried about wasting your MP, because it's actually really important that you get your MP total up as high as you can. Just because having a high MP total is really important at the end of the game, and it goes up really slowly. Which kind of brings me to a topic that I've discussed a little bit in the past, and that's just kind of general playstyle. Because, like I've said before, Quest 64, one of the things that defines it is that there's a whole bunch of different ways you can approach playing the game. you can do like different element combinations and how you fight your battles and stuff like that. And the way that I choose to do it is, I can't remember if these guys are hard. But the way I choose to do it is basically just spam spells all day long. I mean, don't go out of your way to use like expensive spells. Usually if you can get away with using a basic level 1 spell, it's better, because usually its damage per MP cost is like really efficient. But use spells all day long because it does a lot of damage, it kills stuff quickly, and it increases your MP cost. And then just rely on running around to restore your MP. And I'm focusing on water magic, obviously, right now. And once I'm done with water, I'm going into earth. Other valid... I mean, you can do basically whatever you want, and it would be quote-unquote valid. Can I deal with these guys? I mean, I guess I might as well try. Now that we're on the other side of the Connor Forest, fights get a little bit harder. There's some enemies in this area that are actually very hard, but it's usually worth it to at least try. I completely forgot what I was saying now. Here you can see this guy has this little blue crystal underneath him, and that's one of the benefits of Ice Knife. It has a long range, it's homing, and it has a chance to paralyze enemies like this. And basically that just means that they are going to miss, I think, 2, maybe 3 turns. Which means that even if there's a whole bunch of other enemies, you're going to have a couple turns at least where you're just not taking any damage, which is very advantageous. So, one of the ways that people can approach this game is that if you focus a little bit more on using your staff, that can be a very legitimate way to approach the game, just because that does 2 things for you. It regenerates your MP. Every time you attack with your staff, you gain 1 MP, which is handy. And it also, every attack with your staff, like, it gives you HP experience, so your HP is going to be pretty high. The thing is, neither of those things help you kill enemies. So I prefer my approach. And even if you're just getting more MP, that may not increase your HP directly, but it means that you can last longer in fights by healing. Now the spell that I use there is Ice Wall. Ice Wall is actually very similar to Ice Knife, in that it does like a small amount of damage, and it has a chance to paralyze, but it's just, it attacks around you and in AoE. So this was a pretty long fight, but I managed okay. I'm in pretty rough shape right now, but that can be fixed. And the benefit of killing a whole lot of enemies is it usually gives you a lot of experience, which is what I refer to... I mean, this is what I refer to usually as experience, because this just comes from actually killing enemies. So if you're killing a lot of enemies, you're getting a lot of experience from a fight. But you also get a lot of this like incremental experience for all of your individual stats as well. Just because the fight ends up being longer and you end up doing more stuff. So, yeah. So let's see where we are on the map here. Am I even going? Yeah, I'm going the right way. Okay. Unfortunately, the map isn't very good. It's the problem is that... Oh geez, that's a lot of enemies. I'm gonna run away from this. The problem with the map is that the pointer they use for where you are is actually really big. So it's really easy to kind of misconstrue where you actually are on the map. And what was that, like 2 steps before I got into another fight? I am just gonna run away. And when you're running away, if it takes you a couple turns to get to the outside limit of the area, the fight, whatever you want to call it, then usually your best bet is to use healing, because it doesn't really matter what damage you do to the enemies in that time. And I'm actually out of MP, and I don't know why I cast Water Pillar, but it doesn't really matter. Jeez, another fight? Well, I could probably take this guy just with my staff attacks. And if I were to actually hit, that would be a good way to get a little bit of MP back. Although those are pretty weak attacks. The damage you do with your staff is basically just straight up determined by how many total spirits you have. So right now it would be what, 28? So yeah. So that got me enough MP to heal me back up to full, so I would consider that worth it. So just keep winding around this path. And if we head up here... Hello? I thought there's supposed to be a spirit here. Am I lost? I don't think I'm lost. It's just really easy to get like turned around in this game. Oof. Well, that was kind of nasty. I actually dealt with that really well because I got off some really effective, what are they called, ice walls. One hit 3 enemies, one hit 4 enemies. Those are pretty good amounts. I'm trying to go west. Oh, you know what? I know what the problem is here. There's this log here that you have to run down that is like impossible to see from the top of the hill, so that's what's up. Okay. There's a spirit right here, so that hits me at 25 water spirits, so I have healing level 2, which, wow, that only heals 18? Good lord, that's a whole extra MP for 3 extra points of healing? That's not worth it at all. What the hell enemy is this? I've never seen this thing. I have never seen that enemy before in my life. And it looks very dangerous, so I want to stay away from it. And I got turned around because I ran from that fight. I want to be heading to the west right now. Now, one thing to keep in mind when you're done leveling up water, at least, like, not if you're at max water, but when you get a spirit after battle, normally what I do is I just, immediately after the fight, I'll just go, you know, down left because I want to heal, like, right away. Not that, you know, how quickly you do it matters at all, but if you do that real quick right after the battle, there's a chance you'll accidentally put a spirit in water. Which isn't the end of the world, but I want to be leveling up my Earth right now. Like, a lot. I need to get my Earth spirits, like, really high. As quickly as possible, so... that's something to be a little bit careful of. It's just a matter of waiting, like, an extra second after battle. But, whatever. So, right now, the place we're in the Glencoe Forest. Which may or may not have been a good idea, because the enemies in here are actually really, really strong. But there's some stuff we can find in here. I mean, not like super, super, super important stuff, but stuff that will definitely help us out. If we can actually live long enough to find it. Which we will find out on the next episode of Let's Play Quest 64. Catch you later.